So around the age of 19, I got into what they call red pill content. And essentially for the next few years, I found myself becoming more bitter, more resentful, really feeling a deep level of disdain towards women that I really didn't have at a young age. I mean, I was raised in a household with two parents. I was blessed enough to have that, to see a mother and a father working together to build this household. But yet, I believe that in order for me to be a man, I needed to, I need to assert my dominance. And how I did that was by laying up with as many chicks as humanly possible while also hating them at the very same time. Now, I'm not going to discredit everything about the red pill, but I will say that a majority of it is trash. In the same way, it's like if you go back maybe 100 years ago, the feminist movement, there was something there. But if you look at the feminist movement now, it has done more harm than it has done good. That's just straight up facts. I'm a dude who stands for men and women coming together and having healthy relationships. That's what I'm about. So that being said, this video really resonated with me. And, it caught my interest first and foremost because it is it Fit or is it Fresh? I think it's Fit. Fit from Fresh and Fit happens to be conducting this sort of back and forth debate style thing that Charlie Kirk has been doing for quite a while on college campuses. And let's just say a dude came up with a whole lot of sense. And so I thought just to share this moment with you guys. So let's get into that video and then I will give my synopsis and break this down at a molecular subatomic level. So let's get into it.
So the reason I asked that is I've watched almost every single podcast you ever did for about a year and a half. So much so that I bought into a lot of the things that you said. And for about 2 years, it led me astray and significantly damaged my personal life, including relationships.
How did it lead you astray?
Well, you told me to go sleep with a bunch of women and date multiple women at the same time, which I did. And it significantly damaged my life. And it wasn't until I actually turned around and started listening to Jesus Christ that I was saved.
Now, I do want to say this before he continues is, two things can be true at the same time. So there is a reality as far as, women are more attracted to a man who is attractive, right? In the same way, most people are attractive to something that is attractive. It's like if you are a basketball fan, you're going to be more attracted to a play. No Diddy. Some of y'all already going there. That's not why I'm going with it. You're going to be more drawn to the best talent. That's why a guy like MJ was able to galvanize the attention of the entire world. He was just so brilliant at what he did. So if you are a man and you are given over to your purpose, competence and things of that nature, right, which aren't exclusive to the red pill, these are just foundational elements of personal development. If you give yourself over to cultivating yourself, becoming the best that you can be, whatever that looks like, that's going to be more attractive overall, period. More people will want to work with you. More people will want to, be involved in whatever it is you got going on, etc. So when it comes to, with the opposite sex, when it comes to relationships or intimacy, that's just going to be attractive. So there's been this lie sold to us to say that as a man, it is you sleeping with as many women as possible that makes you that man, right? That's what makes you attractive. It's the fact that you're doing it. No, it's the fact that you can, but you choose not to because you have a certain level of dignity and discipline about you. That's what truly makes you a man. You are not initiated into manhood if you can't control your loins. I don't care what you got going on. They sold you the lie of this is the high value, and look at all the things that he has. If you don't have the character that can sustain the success, you have not initiated into manhood. That's the God honest truth about it. So you could sleep with as many chicks. And this is coming from a dude, look, I done did what I did. I done lived how I done lived. I done had a life. And I'm at a place in my life now where I realize that meant nothing. That was nothing but gratifying and satiating my ego. And not even the positive aspect of my ego, that individuality. No, it was a insecure, fearful, man, I want the rest of the world to see me like this guy. I want to be that guy to all these other individuals. And so in order to be that, I got to continue to live by the rules and the laws of my loins. That ain't it. So I'm going to let this brother continue and we'll get back into it.
Now I'm happily married. I I have one child now with another one on the way, and I've never felt happier. But I felt.
Congratulations. That's good. That's really good.
Thank you. And I know you're not against that, but my concern is what you're saying to men leads them astray, because I'm a walking example of it. And I think you're significantly damaging people, and especially you're leading people away from morality. Women are not sex objects. Women are created in the image of God, and they are valuable.
You know what's crazy is when I was back in the red pill nonsense, I would have heard this dude and thought, man, he's a simp. I would have said out loud, I call people simps all the time, etc. I would have called him a simp. I would have said that he's blue pilled, all this sort of, program jargon. Instead of saying, oh, yeah, that sounds like the end goals that I actually have for myself when it comes to relationship. Now, of course, I have my goals as far as my mission, my purpose in life, what I'm here to do, what God has created me to do. But a part of that, under the umbrella of that, is family, which I am now in the process of, right? Engaged to be married, not creating a forever fiance type situation. But I believe as men, it's like the initiation into what it is to be a man, where there is genuine fulfillment. It's like, that's why you continue to see these cases of, whether it's the diddlers of the world or the fiddlers of the world, the Shannon Sharps or this one or that one. There's always a story of this man losing everything, or losing those things that matter to them, or losing the things that they built, or, there's always some sort of adversity that is self-created, self-perpetuated, that comes from an inability to control that aspect. And it's not just to control it, it's to overcome it. All pun intended. If you cannot get to a place where you are not ruled by the lowest aspects of self, it doesn't matter what you build in this life, what you do. It doesn't matter how many gains you got, how much money you make. All of that will be for nothing. Because when you're looking your children in the eyes, that the next generation, your legacy, all you have to give them, truly, all you have to give them is who you are. I remember seeing a video of some rapper. He was giving his 4-year-old son at his birthday party a Rolex, over $100,000 watch. And this kid could care less. And I could see the dad felt some type of way. But the kid, he just wanted his dad's attention. He wanted his dad's love and affection. He wanted his dad's leadership. Now, he probably obviously didn't know how to voice these things, but he just put the watch aside. I'm cool off that. And so many of us are trying to compensate in all these ways, but it's about who you are and who you become. Those intrinsic qualities that have the greatest impact of who you actually are. And those can be benefits on your career and the money you make and the gains that you put on and the things you acquire throughout this life. But without that foundation, you have nothing. So I'm going to let him finish and pause. I got too much Cameron and Mace situation going. I got too much of that. Pause. Everything's becoming a pause moment.
Why should God give you one of his children if you don't even know? Why should God give you one of his children if you don't even know how to treat him? So I think.
And I believe that both ways, You got females in adult bodies, because womanhood is also something I believe that you earn, or that you step into and become. Womanhood, not femininity or being a female. Being a female, you're born that. Being a male, you're born that. And there's only 2 of them, by the way. But I believe it's the exact same. If you got these chicks talking about, well, he's got to have this. He owns me that, and that's how they move through life. That's God's child that you're talking about. You should be able to treasure and value that individual, and vice versa. That's a healthy relationship. Now, again, it's going to take work to get there on both sides. It's going to take self-actualization. It's going to take self-awareness to get there. But it is necessary to get there. Otherwise, we will continue to create more of the very same thing, that has us kind of in this very strange, unnatural place. We all know there's something wrong with what is currently going on in relationships and, just society at large. But it doesn't change until we make the changes necessary at an individual level. In the words of Gandhi, if If you want to change the world, you change yourself, because all things begin with the individual to take responsibility for your own corner in the world. So that's my 2 cents, but I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Till the next time, peace. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Now, if you'd like to stay around, make sure to click that little subscribe button down there, or you can show some love by going to the description below and clicking on the button titled Buy Me a Coffee. Leave a little something there, or click on the Cash App. Leave a little something here. Till the next time, peace.
I fell in love with the sunshine. I fell in love with the light. I fell in love with the full moon. I fell in love with the night. I can see the light again. I can see the light. You can see the life in him illuminate the night. I know the time is taking. A 3-6-5, that's a full rotation. I see you looking up, you know them constellations. Constantly gazing like house of praises, you get to praising.